Hello, and welcome back to another Rocket Academy video. In today's video, we will explore some advanced React concepts, namely React hooks, useState. React hooks became available for public use in February 2019. One of the main driving factors in developing hooks was so that developers could implement state along with other React features like lifecycle methods without the need to write class-based components. Hooks are completely opt-in, though it should be noted a lot of modern tutorials and documentation now implement code in hooks only. That being said, there are no plans to remove React classes, so what you've learnt so far is still applicable. Instead, hooks provide a direct API to React concepts like state, context, and lifecycle methods. During the previous sessions, we looked at how to maintain state within React class-based components. In today's session, we will look at how we can maintain state within a React functional component by implementing the useState hook. useState is a function that can be imported into your applications from the React package. To implement a persisting state, we must declare some variables. The first variable is the name of our state. The next will be the function defined to alter or update our state. These are currently just placeholders. If we were capturing the user's emails, we would define email and set email. Then, assign the value as the useState function call and pass in the initial state of this value. The state could be anything from an empty string to an object that will be altered later. It should be noted that you can use as many useState hooks as you need to maintain state within your component. To showcase hook implementation, we will implement a counter component using hooks. We will do this in the React application that we've created in previous videos. So, let's slide over to an instance of our terminal now. Here, we can type in code dot to access VS Code and all the files within our project. Within the counter.js file, you can see we have already created a class-based counter component. This counter has two internal states, count and clicked. This is followed by our functions to increment and decrement our stateful counts. We are therefore using the setState method to alter our component's internal state, and we should notice how this.setState is used inside our class. We also receive our props through this.props. Let's now create our hook-based counter component within the components folder. Inside the hook counter file, we will need to import and destructure useState from React. At this stage, we can develop our functional counter component. First, we define the hook counter as an arrow function that will receive props from its parent. We then define the state that is stored within the component. Next, we can declare the variable of count and set count. We will assign the useState function call as its value with an initial value of 0. We can then copy and alter this line to develop our clicked and set clicked variables that will be used to handle our clicked data. At this point, we can begin to develop the JSX that will make up our component and be displayed to our users. So, we add a return statement that contains a parent div. Within this div, we define a h1 tag that uses conditional rendering to see if we get a name from the parent component. If the name exists, we use it, otherwise we will pass in stranger. This way we can associate each counter to a person declared by the coder himself or herself, or we name them a stranger. We will also define a header. This will be used to display our current count. Considering we probably also want to display our clicked, we can copy this line and alter it so we display our clicked instead of our count state. At this point, we will want to create two buttons that our users can click to alter our internal state. The first button will be used to increment the count, as well as clicked state. To do this, we will add a onClick method to our component. This will fire off two functions, setCount and setClicked. We will set the new states to be the current state plus 1. The next button that we are going to develop is the decrement function, so we can copy our previous button and paste it once more. Let's alter the JSX from a plus to a minus, and alter the logic so that we minus 1 from our count. We still want to be adding 1 to our clicked though. We should be able to export this hooked counter from this file and import it into the app.js. So we can write export default hook counter, and then we can save. Then, in the app.js, we can replace the call API component with our new hook counter. We are actually going to define two counters, one with a name and one without. You can see at the top of the page that we have imported our hook counter. On the bottom counter, we will add the name property of Sam. Now we can run npm start. This will activate React scripts, and we should be able to see the result of our code within the browser. As you can see, we are able to see Stranger's counter as well as Sam's counter. You can see that the state is self-contained per component. If I click plus, then both the count and click state will increment on the individual counters. If I click on the minus, then the count will minus and the click state will be incremented. This was an introductory video on React hooks useState. We will explore other hooks like useEffect in future sessions. See you in the next video.